Welcome everybody to what is going to be a quite short presentation. You might have seen, some of you might have been with us in previous conferences, and then we shared a so-called shitload of data. This time we're going to share less data, but it's going to be insightful, I promise. So this time I want to speak about sustainability of software. And of course, when we think of sustainability, we think about energy consumption. And most energy today is spent by teams on trying to get the hardware right, buying servers that are more efficient. But we're doing quite a bit of research on this topic, and we have learned that on average, our current estimates are that you can save something around 17% on energy consumption on the average solution, with dramatically more, up to 90%, maybe even more in some cases. Another thing is to understand that when you want to save energy on the hardware side, your software needs to be fit for purpose. You want to be able to switch your servers down, and not all software can do that automatically, so software needs to be focused on. So when you want to save energy, when you want to do things on sustainability in software, it is really about looking at the code. That's one element of sustainability. But I want to speak about another element of sustainability. And for that, I want to use an example. And for those who know me, I have a background as a mechanical engineer, so I like to talk in car equivalents. This is a nice-looking car from 1948. It's been built 76 years ago. Won a Grand Prix in 1949, participated in the very first Formula One race in Silverstone in 1950, and it's still racing today because of proper maintenance. And actually, when you think about it, it's also not just proper maintenance, but there's also innovation, because this thing runs a sustainable fuel. So this is fuel that's been created by taking energy from windmills and solar panels, taking CO2 out of the air and converting it into fuel. So that's the way I feel we should be thinking about software as well. 76 years old, but still being used. So when you look at sustainable software here, we have conducted, this is some data I want to share with you, and it's actually quite revealing. We've conducted over 500 IT due diligences. So this is a company that wants to buy another company, or private equity that wants to invest in a particular company. And typically, not always, but typically these are younger firms, scale-ups, startups. And what we learned over time is, what is the quality of that software? Some of you might be familiar with our star rating system, where we rate through a very rigorous process how well the build quality is of your technology. Industry average is 3 stars, top 5% is 5 stars, bottom end is 1 star. The average of those systems is 2.75 stars. Actually, that's shocking. You would expect those somewhat younger companies to be better, not to have a lot of legacy. So there's some interesting findings around that. This is the equivalent of more than 600 million in technical debt that has been built up in these young firms. Very strange. And as a result, their development speed is 50% less than what it could have been if they would have followed the recommended 4 stars. Now, personally, we develop our platform Sigrid at a 4-star level. This is not something we discuss, it's just a given. That's an objective we have set for ourselves. Because we believe that Sigrid will be around in 5 years, and 10 years, and 20 years. We have a long-term perspective. It's something that's really vital. And what I'm suspecting here, that some of these firms that have been so much focusing on creating new functionality don't have the real intention to have a long-term view for that software, just trying to sell it. This is a dangerous thing. In the example of the car, you saw that sometimes something cool can be used 76 years after. Software is not something for tomorrow, it's for next week, it's for next year, and for the next decade. This is an example we all know that Mr. Da Vinci, when he was painting this, had been working on this for years. Actually, when he died, he had it in his possession and was still making amendments to it. Trying to make the reference to maintenance here, as you can imagine. So, build for that long-term future. Software is not fast food. It's something that will stay, and it will stay with you longer than you think it does. That's something to think about. Not all of your systems will be Mona Lisas. Some of the systems might be less relevant, but some of your core systems will be the Mona Lisas that you will have to develop against higher standards because you want to keep it for a longer period of time. It's something I really want to put in everybody's mind. Because we're going to talk about AI a lot, I thought, let's have a statement about AI. Because this is going to solve all of our problems, if we have to believe LinkedIn posts, that is. But is that really true? When you think about sustainable software and you think about AI, the core is that AI turns creators into reviewers. So we used to be able to make things ourselves, text ourselves, now reviewing text. I think people with children in high school might be very familiar with that nobody's writing an essay anymore. It's something that ChatGPT can do for you. It can be a great help. But now we turn into reviewers. Right? We have to review that text. Also in coding, that means that experienced people will become more productive. But it also means that less experienced people will become more dangerous. That's a sort of a general statement I want to put in your heads before we go to the rest of the agenda, the second part of the afternoon where we talk about AI a lot, or you will be talking about AI a lot. For that, I want to leave you with that thought: create software for the long-term future, build quality right into it, and use AI wisely. With that said, I want to hand over to Raymond, maybe via Adam.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Luc. Thanks, Luc. First of all, Luc, thank you for hosting this event for everyone. I think on behalf of everyone here. Why this event? Why did you feel the need to organize this event?
Well, we want to create a venue, an area where we can all come together and discuss the state of software quality, the state of the industry. In all honesty, it's not as mature as we all think it is. There's a lot of things that we can improve. It really needs to step up to the plate, and I think we can all benefit from having stronger processes, stronger quality. That's the reason.
Thank you, Luc. I think we'll all agree with that. Thank you, Luc. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.